Good evening and welcome to the first ASWWU Confab of the 2020-21 school year. We're so thrilled to have all of you with us here on the stream. I know it's a little different this year. Normally we have an indoor group in the Fine Arts Center or some other place and we can be all together physically, but well, we have to work with what we have available to us with the current restrictions. And so we're here on Zoom. And so I don't want to take up too much time with my introduction because we have a lot of exciting stuff to get into with our candidates. So what I'll do is I'll just open up this meeting with a word of prayer and we'll get started. So please bow your heads to me with wherever you are. Father in heaven, Lord, thank you so much for your goodness and your grace. Lord, I'm so thankful for Walla Walla University and for the associated students of Walla Walla University. There are so many incredible people in our campus community, and we have some of those individuals here with us tonight running for ASWWU Executive Officer positions. Lord, I pray that this time will be beneficial to us as a student body and that we can learn more about them and what they have to offer as future leaders. Please bless this time and bless our time together. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Very good. All right, I'm going to pass it off to our very own ASWWU Elections Board Chair, Isabella Constantino, and she will tell us more about how this Confab event will work.
All right, hi, I'm Izzy or Isabella, and I will be moderating tonight. So we're going to have a series of questions posited, some to all of the candidates and some to each of the specific positions. They're going to have 1 minute to answer these questions. Our esteemed parliamentarian Ethan Edwards will be keeping the time tonight. And so without much further ado, let's start with our first question. So our first question is directed to all of the candidates, and it is, please introduce yourself and explain your platform.
Hello, Walla Walla University students, faculty, staff, and friends and family watching. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. I'd like to introduce myself a little bit. My name is Andrew Bassell. I'm a junior mechanical engineering major. My platform is primarily upon the idea of acceptance. It is so critical, especially now, to be accepting differences and not just be accepting, but also be understanding to each other. This is something that I intend and I will carry forward if elected president. It's very important for me, for each person to understand that you are incredibly special. You have gifts and you have talents. And as president, it is extremely important for me to understand those talents. And not only just the talent side, but understand where our differences lie and how we can create and make a better campus because of those differences. So thank you so much.
Hey guys, my name is Trevor Haugen and I'm running for ASWWU president, as you guys have seen. My motto for this next year is aspire to grow and inspire to change. To accomplish this, I plan on utilizing your voice to help lead the student body towards a campus that's continually improving. My goal is to implement the voices of change through creating leaders everywhere. What I mean by this is creating more resources for students to lead by example. This means putting value into your ideas and expanding the resources available to you. My hope is to create opportunities where you can take initiative and contribute to growth on our campus. Thanks.
Hi everyone, my name is Lydia Tupper. I'm a junior theology major and I would love to be your next ASWWU Spiritual Vice President. I spent my first 2 years at Walla Walla working on the ASWWU Spiritual team and I absolutely loved every second of it. Coming into Walla Walla as someone who loves Jesus and loves working to make the world around me a better place, ASWWU has given me the opportunity to combine those two things. And it has really become my happy place since getting here to Walla Walla. So as your spiritual vice president, I promise to listen, to foster a culture of healthy spirituality and connection on our campuses, and to work hard to be the spiritual vice president that you deserve. Thank you.
Hello, I'm so pleased to be here. My name is Mitchell Powers, and I'm a sophomore theology major, and I love Jesus. I believe that there is nothing more important than our walks with Christ, and this last year has no doubt challenged each and every one of us. So, as spiritual VP, I will grow and cultivate a culture of connection with Christ for students on and off this campus. I want to evoke a celebration of God's love for us on this campus. And as spiritual VP, I will hear your voices and serve the student body with everything I've got. In order to achieve these goals, I plan to have student-led prayer nights and worship nights, service projects, devotionals, and giveaways, and so much more, right? I can't wait for this next year. Vote for me, and I'll make things happen.
Hey friends, my name is Natasha Wanta and I am a sophomore elementary education major. And my, so to say, slogan for this upcoming year is to be on fire for him. And I have this word placed on my heart, fire. And I see it as our hearts turning to our first love, Christ, and for our hearts to be set on him and for it to burn bright so others can see God's glory through our lives. I'm a firm believer in community and really seeking out in the community and our friends. And I really just want Walla Walla's hearts to turn back to their first love and for us to really focus on Jesus. While it is hard to say that I can promise you all this stuff, I will promise you this one thing, that if I am elected as your spiritual VP, hearts will be turning to Christ because he is on the move and revival is coming. Thank you so much. And next person, I don't know who else is next, but I'm done.
Thank you, Natasha. My name is Wills Hafner. I am the current Executive Vice President of ASWWU, and I'm running for the same position again. And my platform is stability. This past year and the past couple months, I suppose, have been very rocky. Everything's changing. ASWWU is different. And I know how to do my job well. I can do it. And I want to bring stability to the school, and I want to make sure that no one's lost in the dark. Thank you.
Hey guys, my name is Brendan Sickow. I'm a freshman elementary education major, and just this year, I've just been so excited to be part of the Walla Walla family, and just from hearing all of the different social activities that went on here and all the things that happened last year, and then just kind of this transition into COVID has hit everyone really hard, and just I see a need to get things back to normal and get things back to how they used to be, but then expound upon that. One of the things that you'll see when reading my platform is that I believe the way to unite a community is by coming around the things that we are passionate about. And when we can ignite that passion in people, then we can spark change to happen. So I'm just so excited for the opportunity to be your social VP. And I'm so excited to see what everyone has to say. Thank you.
Hello all, my name is Jack Darrow. I'm running for social vice president. I forgot to take off my sombrero. You see, I wear it to remind myself that any time can be a fiesta. But back to the business. I'm running because of one word, happiness. This past year has been rough. For some, life has been rough for much longer. I personally had my moments of doubt and depression when I was younger. But knowing I could impact people with just a smile or a joke made me so much more happier. And I know that a social event won't fix everything in someone's life. But at least for me anyway, exploring a moment of joy for all the crazy is more valuable than most people think. Nothing would bring me more joy than knowing I could put a smile on at least one person's face to make someone happy. And that's why I'm running for social vice president.
Hey y'all, I'm Josh, and I'm running for social vice president. And I think during this time of COVID, I learned a lot of valuable lessons, not only about myself, but about our Walla Walla community. And that's y'all are integral to my life and integral to each other's. I I remember just kind of over that period of spring quarter last year, feeling pretty isolated, but coming back onto campus and having these incredible social events put on by our ASWWU social team this year have really helped me felt connected. And I think that at the end of the day, that's what ASWWU social is all about, connection, and especially during this time of COVID. I think that's something that we're all not only longing for, but we all need. And I want to provide that connection for y'all. And I think that I'm hoping my experience in that department and my longing for joy and happiness in each and every one of your lives will provide that for you. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, candidates. Now, before we get to the second question, I'm going to turn it back over to our president for a quick second, Eric Welch.
Thank you, Izzy. I forgot a very important thing, and that is community credit. So I'm going to maximize myself here. Just 1 second. And then I'm going to put up this QR code so that you all can scan in. So there you have it. I'll leave it up for a few seconds, and then we'll get back to our scheduled programming. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I completely forgot and just jumped right into things. So, all right, I'm going to take it off right now. And if you need it, you can always scrub back through the YouTube video and get it that way. So that's that. And I will now pass it back to Izzy. Thank you.
All right, our second question is also directed to all of the candidates. And question number 2 is, explain your understanding of the position you're running for and how your past experiences have prepared you for this position.
Well, the executive vice president does quite a few things, but if I could boil it down to one sentence, it would be that the vice president is a role in the pursuit of change on this campus. And as far as my previous experience understanding this role, well, I am the current vice president, so I think I might have a little bit of experience there.
I see the position of social VP as an opportunity to be your guys' visionary on campus for fun. And basically what I want to, one of some of the past experiences that I have in this is through class offices in high school, planning events, things such as that. But I would say my number one experience that I have going for me is just a solid group of friends and really just knowing how to have fun and just how to make people smile and make people happy. So that's what I want to do as the social VP, and why I think I'm qualified to do it is because I listen to people, I have great friends, and I just know how to have an awesome time. And I really just want you guys to have fun on campus and to be in a place where you feel like you belong. So that's why I should be the social VP. So thank you guys.
Hello a second time. The role of the social vice president is to help plan and execute social events and overall improve life on campus. While it may seem daunting to some, I do have a lot of experience when it comes to event planning and execution. For 7 years, I've helped with events at my church, the largest SDA church in Las Vegas. I've also helped out with a couple of charity events to help support great causes. And most recently, I was an officer for my class at my last school, where we both planned for and set up several events for the entire campus. But most importantly, my aunt has helped me develop skills to become a leader. If there's anyone who I consider a great leader, it's her. I've learned that challenges will always come my way, and things are bound to go wrong. But that hasn't stopped me from accomplishing my goals, and I plan to keep it that way, especially for you guys.
Hey y'all, I view the social vice president role as one, an event planner, and two, a people connector. And I'm pleased to announce I have a lot of experience doing both of those things. Whether it was in high school being the student association president, planning all the social events, or being the high school community coordinator, communicating events for the Oregon conference between all the high schools in the Oregon, Washington area. Or here in college, being an ASWWU department head this year, just getting a feel for what it's like to be a department head, work within cabinet, supervise 30 employees, or being on the ASWWU social team this year, having understanding of how ASWWU social events are run, and kind of how the team operates and what the responsibilities are behind the scenes of the ASWU Social Vice President. I feel I have those skills.
Thanks, Josh. First and foremost, the ASWU president, in my eyes, is a project manager. There's 14 different departments comprised of about 120 employees and a large budget encompassing all that. So being a project manager, and not just a manager, but a leader on campus, being someone who is not afraid to going out of their comfort zone and talking with those they don't know. I was blessed to be last year's chief of staff, ASWU chief of staff. That is a cabinet position, advising the role of Lucas Marcondes, last year's ASWU president. And that has been such a blessing, not only interdepartment communication, which is huge, but also just getting a really in-depth feel for how ASWU truly works. Coupled with also a very positive and tall atmosphere, I think it has really, really add to my resume of how to becoming ASWU president. It's a very important position, and thank you.
That was awesome, Andrew. Yeah, I have also had some experiences working in leadership roles. In high school, I was captain of my basketball team as well as SA president. But after graduating, I actually worked at Big Lake Youth Camp as a counselor. Then the following 2 years, I was Boys Village director, where I worked with balancing parents, counselors, as well as campers. And ultimately, I was super blessed to grow as a leader there. Throughout my time here at Walla Walla University, I've been president of Buddy Club for the past 2 years. And I also did a mission year in Pohnpei as a teacher, where I also took on some roles in the community, which was very helpful. All of these experiences have taught me the value of leadership. My understanding of this position relies on my ability to advocate for your voices and implement your ideas, which means that I understand that open communication is key for our success. And I think that that's one of the main responsibilities. Thanks.
Hi. I believe that the ASWU Spiritual Vice President position exists to first provide our student body with opportunities that will connect them with each other, and then also with God. Both of those are so important. And I hope to do this by taking care to listen to what you, the members of ASWU, have to say, and then by implementing programs that are helpful and relevant to you in your spiritual lives. Having worked on ASWU Spiritual for 2 years in the past, I feel very qualified to take on this position. Through ASWU Spiritual, I have started a program in which I worked with a local homeless shelter to provide student-run chapel services. I've also worked on countless events, spent hours dreaming up ideas for spiritual connection on this campus. This is something I feel very experienced in and ready to take on. I've also spent a summer working on the leadership team at Camp Maivaden, and I've taken on multiple positions of student leadership since beginning high school. I enjoy working with the team to utilize the skills I've gathered in each of these positions. Thank you.
The ASWU spiritual position is a calling to servant leadership, and I totally understand that this comes with a great amount of responsibility, and that I'll be working with a budget, a team, organizing events, and collaborating with other spiritual entities, and maintaining a culture, worship, all so that the student body has an environment to grow exceptionally with Christ. I have worked for the CHE for 2 years, connecting with Christ through service by creating service options for varying people. And this has given me the skill of organization, creativity, and how to budget. Last year, I worked with ASWU Spiritual and helped plan week of worships and different events that you saw. And lastly, this last summer, I worked as a youth pastor in the Portland area, where I learned a great deal of how to grow a community of worship and connection. I believe all of these experiences have well prepared me for this position.
Hi again. To me, ASWU Spiritual VP is a spiritual leader for the school, but most importantly is someone in pursuit of Christ and his heart and his kindness and all he is. This is a person to me that wants revival for the school, that wants change for the school. And it's not just, another position for them, but a call to ministry for them. So for me, I have had my fair share of leadership I'm currently the AGA president right now, and I'm seeing amazing work that God is doing through that ministry. And I've also started small groups. I preach here and there at my church. I was also a summer camp counselor at Sunset Lake, and hoping to be the director someday. But really just being a person of Christ and leading in love and leading in vulnerability, because I'm a firm believer that in vulnerability, there's freedom. And if we can be vulnerable as leaders, that changes the atmosphere for everybody else. So thank you.
All right, thank you, candidates. We're now going to move on to questions that are specific to each position. The first question is directed to our EVP candidate, Wills Hafner. And it is, what have you learned in this school year as EVP that you will use to make next year's Senate more effective and more efficient?
Well, if there's one thing I could take into the next year if I'm elected, it would be to plan things much further in advance. If I think I need 2 weeks, I actually need 3. And after I plan things as far in advance as I do, I need to run through them again and again and again to make sure that they work 100% correctly. Like I think about, I don't know, 90% of all my problems could be eliminated if I just planned that extra 3 weeks earlier.
All right, thank you, Wills. Our next question is directed to our presidential candidates. And it is, how do you intend to effectively supervise 14 departments while balancing your own administrative priorities?
Yeah, so I plan on growing the leadership roles in each department to create a domino effect of leadership that spreads change across the entire campus. My experiences have taught me that one of the most effective actions that I could take as a leader is to be present. I will be a leader who prioritizes availability to each department as well as the students, while also relaying those concerns with the administration in a timely manner. I will make sure that each department will be equipped with the proper resources to grow their influence, and at the same time, using my position to look for areas to grow. Supervising the 14 departments while collaborating with administration is a huge responsibility. I'm sure that Andrew and I both know that very well. And I will balance that responsibility by prioritizing the implementation of the students' ideas. But all in all, I will organize the departments, promote leadership, listen to the students, and be sure that I work productively with administration.
Thanks, Trevor. As part of the ASWWU Chief of Staff, it was my job to actually effectively communicate between the 14 different departments. While doing that, I can realize it can be a daunting task with 14 departments, but realizing that there's 14 department heads with their own leaders and expertise in that specific field. Additionally, there was every so often they had department head meetings where we all met, we collaborated, we saw what we were working on, we saw what we needed to improve on, and that really effectively let everyone know that they were being understood and heard, and that is something I definitely want to expound upon if I become president. Additionally, there was weekly and even sometimes daily meetings with the department heads, one-on-one time to really get to the details of what's going on. That is really important, and that's something that I will definitely continue as some good idea that I've talked with some of the department heads. So coupled with those different ideas is also good balancing act between the two.
All right, thank you, candidates. Our next question is directed to our social VP candidates, and it is, what are some ideas you have for new events that you would potentially implement next school year?
Hello, a third time. So 2 words, bouncy house. Well, I don't know what next year will look like. If everything's gets better, I would personally like to be in a bouncy house. Or if that doesn't float your goat, perhaps a bouncy slide. It's like a regular slide, but it goes bowling. But overall, I want to do a variety of events. One thing I've always thought was cool is an obstacle course. Granted, you have insurance, of course. A talent show, perhaps? I don't have a lot of talents, but it's fun watching people that do. Competitive spelling bees? I won't explain that one. It's a bit of a secret. However, even if there are still restrictions, I'd love to do a lot more pop-ups where people do challenges to win various prizes. My main goal is to do a variety of things that will be enjoyable for everyone. But the bouncy house is the thing that keeps me going.
Hey all. Yeah, I'd love to not only continue some of the events that we've done last year that couldn't be put on this year due to COVID restrictions, whether that be like Battle of the Comedians or Barn Party or the Valentine's Day event. I'd also like to see maybe kind of new ideas incorporated, whether that be stuff like art nights where maybe students get together and do pottery or painting, and that can also be done like socially distanced. Whether it be more open mics. I know I always enjoyed those last year, maybe some cook nights where we can teach students how to cook. And speaking of teaching students, I think a super fun idea would be something like a master class where we can get people who are really good at stuff and just get all the students together and learn how to do stuff together. I think it'd be really fun. But yeah, and also just in continuing, obviously our other legendary events such as Battle of the Bands, Spring Jam, etc.
Hey guys, so basically, I went to Milo Academy, which is a boarding school, and I don't know how many of you had that experience in high school, but at Milo, there's basically nothing to do. So we have to come up with all these crazy things to do. We did things like hillbilly hot tubbing, where we got in the back of a truck and we drove around in hot tubs. We did things like burrito runs. Maybe, you know, me and my cabinet could like make burritos for you guys, and then you have to go to like various locations to try to find them. Just all these really fun activities that just come out of like absolute boredom at boarding school. So I just am so excited to hear from you, because I'm gonna need your guys' help to really make this a good experience next year with creativity. The last thing that I just want to say is that like all of you guys have dreams and goals that you've come to this university for, and I really just want to help to motivate you to keep going, because it's really hard when you're down like not social isolation and everything, and just like you have nothing to do. So I really want to provide those opportunities for you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, candidates. Our next question is for our spiritual VP candidates, and it is, how will you effectively collaborate with other spiritual entities or organizations on campus to promote spiritual life?
So having organized dozens of opportunities for students to connect with Christ through service, my past work has given me a platform to connect with countless on and off campus organizations. And I know the different teams here on our campus and who to communicate with. I have already worked with student-led churches and clubs and groups. I've worked several different times with the university church and with both the chaplains and the missions office. And I will make sure that I meet with each of these entities weekly to gather information and updates, as well as collaborate on events and ideas for spiritual growth on and off our campus. I plan to continue to grow my relationship with these organizations and ASWWU Spiritual in order that we as a student body can have the best all around Christ-centered worship environment here on campus for our students.
Wow, that was beautiful, Mitchell. As he said, I will also be planning to work with the different entities on campus. I'm a firm believer in prayer. I really do believe that prayer shifts everything. And so being intentional with our prayer nights and doing worship nights with the various student-led churches, so that not only is it just coming together, but it's a diversity of different types of way of worshiping and whatnot. I really do believe that if we are pursuing Christ and we're praying together and we're growing together in that community, then the Holy Spirit can be within us, and the fruits that he gives us can then be used in our community, doing community events with the CHE, as well as many other clubs that are community-based. By doing that, then we are reaching out and being the light in the world that God has called us to be. Thank you so much.
When I first applied to work at ASWWU Spiritual as an incoming freshman, I was asked the question, if our campuses already have so many other entities offering spiritual support, why does ASWWU need to have a spiritual department? And I answered it by saying that ASWWU is a representation of our student body, and our student body is one that has the power to be a strong spiritual force within for each other and without for our community. As your spiritual vice president, I will work to expound upon this unique ability of the ASWWU Spiritual Department with other spiritual leaders on campus, such as campus ministries, Circle Church, the dorms, whoever else I can, to ensure that you are being provided with the events, the opportunities, and the resources that you need to facilitate a healthy spiritual life. Thank you.
All right, thank you, candidates. Our last question is directed to all of the candidates, and we are asking that you please make a brief closing remark.
What's up, guys? So basically, I got bored sitting over there, so I came over here instead. Basically, my motto for this campaign is switching things up. For too long, we've done the same things. So we need to get out of our rooms and have fun with each other so that we can accomplish those big dreams and goals that we have. And that's what I'm promising to do. Or not promising, but I will try to the best of my ability to do. I see this position as being your guys' social human connection visionary. And I take that very seriously. You know, I may not be able to hold all of your guys' social lives on my shoulders, but that won't stop me from trying, because I want to support you guys and to create great opportunities for you. So I just thank you for watching this. For those of you who watched it all the way through, I know many of you are just doing it because you need community credit. So that's something else that we can address as well. But basically, I just thank you guys so much, and I just cannot wait to switch things up next school year and really get you guys involved, your passions involved in this community, because that's how we're gonna have a revival. Spiritual, social, everything can change if we start being passionate about what we believe in. Thank you so much for listening.
Hello for a fourth time. And I have a new sombrero too, you know, because it's fiesta time again. So the other day, I walked 8 miles putting up posters around campus. For those that don't know, that's too many miles. I went on every floor of every building, except for the girls' dorm. I don't think I need to explain that one really. But it was all worth it. Not only for my calves, but for me. When I want something, I put my mind to it, and I'm relentless. And I want to be your social vice president. I want to do things that make everyone feel included, so that everyone can escape, even for a moment, from this crazy life. I want to help push a great campus atmosphere. I want to help everyone to have more happiness in their life. And I still really want that bouncy castle. So, if I'm willing to walk 8 miles just to hang up some silly little posters, I'm willing to go the distance for each and every one of you. Let me go the extra mile for you. Thank you.
Hey, y'all. You know, as you're thinking about, you know, who you're voting for, I'd encourage you to think about me as you're thinking about someone who can kind of manage that line between, you know, being super fun and also super professional, you know, having that experience, not only being on ASWWU Social, you know, this past year, but also having the experience of being an ASWWU department head, knowing what it's like to be kind of on that administrative cabinet level, but also just being a fun person. I consider myself a people person and capable of doing some really fun stuff and on some really fun events. So yeah, I encourage you to you know, vote for experience, professionality, and a fun guy.
Yes, ASWWU has been in a little bit of a tizzy since the COVID stuff, so I would encourage you to vote for those who have experience in the roles, like me. And I'm not running against anyone, but if I were, I would encourage you to vote for me, the one who has more experience.
I am so passionate about creating a healthy spiritual environment on our campuses. And if I am elected, I promise to put my whole heart into doing so. I have so many exciting ideas already, and I hope to make them a reality for the benefit of our student body. If I am elected, I promise to listen, to foster a culture of healthy spirituality and connection on our campuses, and to work hard to be the spiritual vice president you deserve. It would be my absolute honor to be your next ASWWU Spiritual Vice President.
I'm so humbled, first of all, for this opportunity to run for this position. I really do believe that revival is coming, either way, if I'm elected or not. I know the 2 other candidates are perfect people for the job, and I know God is on the move and he's working, and he'll place us where we need to be placed. I just want to give you guys a little bit of encouragement as week 5 starts, that you guys would know that the battle has been won already and God is on your side. I just hope that we can be all together next year and I could be your spiritual VP and lead you guys to a spiritual revival. Thank you so much and have a great night.
Thank you, Natasha. You know, when I was young, my grandmother would always tell me that the most important thing to do is to show someone the love of Jesus today. And I'm running for ASWWU Spiritual because I want to shine the light of Jesus on this campus. I feel called to take the dreams and the ambitions and the convictions and turn them into tangible things that we can see, actions on this campus, so that this campus is not known for anything but the light it shines into the students' lives. You are all so important, and I genuinely care about each and every one of you. I want to serve you all through this position of ASWWU Spiritual. So vote for me, and together let's cultivate a community in Christ.
I really appreciated what you said, Mitchell, and I think it's very true. Leaders are defined by the characteristics of how they serve others, and I really intend to serve each and every one of you in the best way, in the way that I know possible, and that's through God. Coupled with my experience previously as an ASWWU administration and advisor, and as well as my just deep love for this campus and passion and understanding, I really hope that each one of you just don't simply can live on this campus, but we can thrive together, that we can accept each other's differences, that we can cultivate this campus and we can empower each one of us. And what I stand for is that ability to each and every one of you to challenge yourself to not just accept, but also understand each person. And that is the most important thing that I will intend to. So please vote for the best people you feel possible. And thank you so much.
I don't know about you guys, but I have really enjoyed hearing everybody's talks and opinions. It's been super interesting for me. I just want to let you know that if you vote for me, you'll be voting for the prioritization of students and department growth. I will work my absolute hardest to balance school policies and finances with our dreams for change. My verse, which is 1 Corinthians 16:14, simply says, "Do everything in love." And honestly, I believe love is the basis for my theme of aspiring for growth in God and in others and ourselves, and inspiring for change in our campus and community. So whatever the condition, our world is this next coming year, hopefully it's better. I want Walla Walla students to, as Andrew said, to thrive. I think that's such a good word. And, thank you guys for sticking around, and hope you have a great night.
All right, thank you, Trevor, for closing that off. And thank you to all the candidates for being here tonight. You've done a wonderful job, and I wish you all the best of luck in your candidacy. For the rest of you, I hope that we'll see you all here again next week, Wednesday, for our second confab. And for that, we're asking the student body to submit some questions that you would like to hear your candidates answer. There will be a link in the description to this video. You may need to reload it. It just got posted. But if you go to that link, you can submit a question either to all the candidates or to an individual position. Thank you all for joining us. And now I'm passing it off to Eric to finish up.
Thank you, Izzy. Well, this has been a fantastic evening, and it's been really good hearing about all of your ideas and your platforms. And speaking on behalf of ASWWU, thank you all so much, as Izzy mentioned, for your engagement with student leadership. As Izzy mentioned, there is a link in the description of the video. I will also post it right here. So that link right there will take you to a form where you can submit questions that will be compiled for the second confab. And then last but not least, to get community credit, you need to check out with this code right here. So make sure to scan that QR code and you'll get community credit for attending this event. And again, a reminder, next Wednesday, as Izzy said, is the second confab. So next Wednesday, that's February 10 at 8 p.m. and it'll be in the same format, streamed over YouTube, and it'll be posted on the ASWWU YouTube channel as well as on aswwu.com/elections. Well, that's all we have for you this evening. Thank you all so much for coming out, and have a great rest of your week. All right, bye-bye now.